Dear students, this is the first dialogue you will get once when we start the class, right? Welcome to the biology class. We are studying the environmental issues in the unit called the ecology. In that, many of the things that we have discussed about the Environmental Protection Act that is passed by the Indian government to protect the environment, and when is it included in noise pollution. That's all things we have discussed in that. One of the pollution is air pollution, and how can we control it? Also, we have studied that we have come across particulate matters that are entering into the atmosphere. What are the reasons for that? What are the effects that are going to happen on the human being? And what is the impact on the organisms? How can we control it? There are various measures are to be taken out for the control of the air pollution. And one of the important is catalytic converter is being inserted into the vehicle which purifies the air. And another one is use of CNC in the cosmopolitan cities like the Delhi, where CNC is effectively used up for the vehicles. All government buses are running on the CNC. All autos, rickshaws, and two-wheelers are running on the CNC, compressed natural gas. That's how they try to control, because Delhi is the most polluted city in the world, remember. Bombay is the most polluted city in the world. West Bengal is most populated cities list in the world. Bangalore is most populated cities list in the world. So in our country itself, many cities are there in the list of most polluted cities. So Delhi is one of the, you can say it ranks first in the world, most highly polluted. Therefore, many of the measures are being taken out to control the pollution. It also we have discussed. And second pollution is noise pollution. What makes the noise to irritate? Which all the instruments that makes the noise? How can we control it? What are the harmful effects that are going to happen on the human being? Also, we have studied. What are the laws that are there? Also, we have studied. And the third important pollution is water pollution. And in that water pollution, how can we control it? Also, we have studied. Some of the topics that we have discussed in the water pollution is domestic sewage and industrial effluent. What makes the water to get polluted? And we were studying these two topics called the algal bloom and BOD, biochemical oxygen demand. These are the two topics that we were discussing in that unit. So biochemical oxygen demand and algal bloom happens because of the water rich with the nutrients. And continuing to that one, we can see the first diagram, this one. Can you find out this diagram? Some of you may be guessing. This is one of the plant which can be seen in our area, maybe in Gulbarga, the Bahmani kingdom. Half part of that is covered with the water, lake, Appa lake, and in that lake, such type of plants are seen. That is nothing but water hyacinth. This is one of the plant which is growing in the polluted water, remember. And even if the water is pure, small piece of that plant is put over there. Within few weeks, that water is being covered with these plants. Completely it is covered, you can see in the diagram. This one. This diagram, completely the water is being covered with the water hyacinth plants. It is one of the most problematic aquatic weed, you see. It is said it is a weed. What is a weed? Weed is, these are the type of plants that are grown in the crop field which are not useful. You take, for example, if we are growing red gram, green gram, black gram, groundnut, whatever we are growing in the field, between the lines or between the plants, grass is grown, Parthenium plant is grown. So these will become the weed because Parthenium plant is not used for the human being, or it is not useful to the human being. So that becomes weed. Weed means unwanted plants that are grown. It is weed. So water hyacinth is one of the problematic plant that is grown on the surface of the water. It said that it is a terror of Bengal. So you have understood what is a terror. So it is referred, this plant is a terror of Bengal because it is making more problematic in the Bengal. From that it has spread out to all over places. And in our area also we can see many of the places where the water surface is being covered with the water hyacinth. They grow abundantly in eutrophic water bodies. So wherever little amount of soil is there and water content is there, at that places these plants will be grown. How it will be problematic? It is problematic because, again, two reasons, whatever I have discussed in the earlier classes. It is problematic because it gets the nutrient from the water. So it affects the other phytoplanktons that are grown inside the water. They will not get the nutrient. One, it blocks the sunlight that is coming from the sun and reaching to the water body and going into the water. It blocks over there, acts as a blanket, reflects back the sunlight. It will not allow the light to enter into the water body. By that, aquatic animals die. Another thing is, it will not allow the atmospheric air to enter into the water body. Atmospheric air is not allowed by these plants to go into the water, so that the aquatic animals will be deficit with the oxygen content. They die off. That's why it is problematic. That's why it is more, and it makes the water to get polluted. None of the organisms that are useful to the human being will not be grown over there. Sewage from homes, you can see second diagram. You can see the second diagram where the sewage water is entering into the river, lakes or oceans. Ultimately it results into the entering the ocean. So small water bodies, it will be coming, it will enter lakes, goes to the rivers, then goes to the seas, oceans. So sewage water from homes and hospitals contain pathogens. Many of the pathogens will be there that causes dysentery, typhoid, jaundice, cholera. Industrial wastewater contains toxic substances like DDT. The DDT, expanded form of DDT, is dichloro diphenyl trichloroethane. This is asked in the many of the times. Remember, DDT, dichloro diphenyl trichloroethane, is the expanded form. Heavy metals like mercury, cadmium, copper, lead will be mixed up in that water body, and organic compounds are mixed up in that, and that makes the water to get polluted. It may be reaching to the river, lakes, pond. It may be sometimes from the ground it will go. I will tell you, from the ground it will reaches to the pond also. That will come next topic is that only how the borewell water gets polluted, how the pond water gets polluted. We'll discuss that. So by this way, the water gets polluted, and if we drink that water, many of the diseases will be offering by the human being. So another one important thing is when such type of effluents are entering into the water body, what happens? When such sewage water is rich with the nutrients, organic matter, and if it is entering into the water body, lakes and rivers, what happens? Ponds, what happens? Biological magnification, or it is also called biomagnification. That leads to the biomagnification. You can see clearly in the diagram. ppm, parts per million. So one of the toxic material producers, zooplankton, small fishes, large fishes, fish eating birds. This is one of the food chain we can see. Producers are eaten by zooplanktons, zooplanktons are eaten by small fishes are eaten by large fishes are eaten by fish eating birds. This is how the food chain moves on. Food chain means it is sequential transfer of food energy from one trophic level to another trophic level. Here, producers are the base. From the producers, the energy goes to the zooplankton. From zooplankton, the energy goes to the small fishes. From the small fishes, the energy goes to large fishes. From the large fishes, the energy goes to fish eating birds. That's how the movement of the food energy taking place in the nature. So why do I eat the roti, rice, chapati? Because I have to survive. I need to get energy. From these only I will get the energy. So these will become the producers. So plants and their products I eat. Plants and products when I eat, the green plants are the producers. From that I will get the energy. So whatever the energy that is present, whatever the material that is present in the plant goes to me, comes to me. And if I am eaten by the lion, tiger, whatever the energy stored in my body goes to the lion or tiger. That's how. Why the lion or tiger eats me? Why tiger eats me? Why why cat eats rats? Why snake eats frogs? Because they need the food for the survival and they get food from them, therefore they eat. Sequential transfer of food energy from one trophic level to another trophic level is called food chain. And one more thing you must remember, biomagnification. It's very important point. Now I will come. Remember, whenever the farmers spray DDT in the crop field during heavy raining time, the DDT is brought by the rainwater from the field, goes to the rivers, lakes, and reaches to the standing water reservoirs. Now imagine that reservoir or dams are rich with the nutrient DDT. They are rich with the mercury DDT. Once when this is rich, the aquatic plants will take up that nutrients. DDT is taken up by the producers inside the water. Once when this DDT goes into the producers, stores in them, those producers are being eaten by zooplankton. That's why this example is given, food chain is given. When these zooplanktons eats the producers, DDT, dichloro, diphenyl, trichloroethane, passed down to the zooplanktons, passed down to the small fishes, passed down to the large fishes, passed down to the birds eating, the fish eating birds, passed down to me, passed down to everybody. Remember, what is so much important thing that I am going to tell you? Yes, there is a much thing that we need to know about the DDT. There may be so many things that I am eating, they get dissolved into my body. Part of that is not dissolved, part of that not digested will come out of the body as a fecal matter. That's the very common thing. But remember, whenever from the food, if I eat the DDT, for example, farmers may be spraying the DDT on the cucumber. Without washing it, if I eat, whatever the amount of DDT that is present in the cucumber goes to my body. Farmers spray DDT on the cauliflowers. Even if I wash also, that will not go, and that enters into my body. Remember, whenever this DDT goes into body of the any living organism, it may be fish, frog, snake, rat, cat, bat, man, anybody. If it goes into them, that will not get digested, and that will not come out of the body also. Whenever it goes into the body, it starts accumulating at the joints. Remember, it will not so easily dissolve in the body. It's not digested in the body. That is the main difference. Whenever I eat the food material, either it will get digested. If it is not digested, that will come out of the body as a fecal matter. But only the DDT, such type of DDT, mercury, toxic materials, when they go into my body, DDT starts accumulating in the body. You can imagine now, many people will be having bones pain, leg pain, hand pain, neck pain. There will be so many pains will be there. Even if they will not be attaining the age of 16, 17, you will be having so many pains. You know, older people are very strong, very strong. They used to live for many years, 100 years, 120 years. But nowadays our lifespan is reduced. Hardly we may be living 60. That too without any incidents happens. Normally we may be living. But why this so? Why our lifespan has been reduced? It's all because of the food habits that has been developed. This type of material, when it goes into my body, starts accumulating, and there the amount of DDT increases. Because of that, there will be so many problems. Organisms cannot metabolize or excrete the toxicant. This type of toxicants cannot be excreted or cannot be digested, metabolized. So it is passed on to the next trophic level. It keep on going to the next trophic level. Therefore, biomagnification is dangerous. Whenever we see, you can see how much whenever the producers are there, very little amount of toxic material will be there. As they reach to the top carnivores, the amount of DDT increases a lot. Biomagnification of DDT in an aquatic food chain. You can see water, what was the percentage? Most zooplankton, what was the percentage? Small fishes, only 0.5 ppm. Large fishes, 2 ppm. Birds, 5 ppm. Keeps on increasing. So the top carnivores will get more amount of DDT. They will be very dangerous. They will be reaching in a dangerous zone, you can say. DDT disturbs calcium metabolism, starts degrading the bones in birds, which causes thinning of egg cells, premature death of the eggs, and their premature breaking. It causes decline in the birds population, declines in the bird population. Takes place because of the DDT. Therefore, it is always preferred to use the natural fertilizers. This is one of the important impact that is going to happen on the living organisms. So with this, we conclude this topic. Further, we'll see in the next classes. So thank you all of you.